Hi, welcome back to another video. It's been a minute. I have been a little bit MIA, but don't worry, I've been working on stuff in the background. But today I'm going to give you a little bit of information about MD files. I've had a couple people in the school community and also just in my actual team just sort of ask a little bit about MD files, what they are and how they can help or improve your AI systems. So essentially I put together a little slide. We can go through it together and we're going to discuss about MD files, why you should be using them and how it runs my entire business. So my entire AI system is just plain text files. MD files is just a structure, the way that a file is, the same way as it's .jpeg, .zip, it's just a .md, memory directory. And essentially it's just a bunch of information in text form that essentially is just the brain file for Claude or for AI. So essentially I have 593 text files that run half stock. And today I'll show you the file format behind it, how it structures everything Claude does, and how to hand a whole system to someone. So for example, if I build something in Claude using the MD files, I can just put all of that into a file system. I can then send that to Nathan or Mike, whoever's on my team, and they can put that into Claude and it'll read it, store it, and then they've now got that same exact system built into theirs. So it's a really powerful way of having your structure set up. So let's have a look moving forward. So the old way is re-explaining your business every session, prompts copy pasted from Notes app, Graveyard, different answer every time you ask. Everything that works lives in your head and can't hand it to a team member or a client. So the old way of using essentially AI as just a chatbot and not as a system. So the new way is Claude on MD files, which you write it once, Claude reads it every session. Your rules, your voice, your context live in that file, same structure, same standard every time. The system exists outside your head, send one file and someone else runs your system. So essentially you can have your context, your strategy, your clients, everything down in MD files, and Claude will follow that system every single time. The difference isn't the AI, it's whether it survives the chat window. So for example, let's go through what an MD file actually is. Plain text, a .txt file with a different surname. So open Notes, Notepad, anything, no software to buy. Or you can just go into Claude or whatever AI you're using, type in, hey, can we make a note of this, and put it into an MD file and save it here or wherever you want to save it. So Markdown equals structure. Hashtag makes a heading, makes a list. That's 90% of it. Structure is the whole trick. Number 3 is AI's native language. Claude reads headings and lists the way you read a road sign. Essentially the way it's instantly without guessing. Portable, email it, drop it in chat, save it in folder. One file carries a whole instruction set. And essentially this is just what that'll look like. So hashtag identity, now that's the headline. You're an AI assistant helping Taylor run his work and life. The areas, half stock, funnels, systems, automation, school, community. So that's what it will look into, what we're doing. Rules, direct, no fluff, Aussie English spelling, no AI sounding phrases, always ask before sending emails, things like this. That's it. Headings and lists. The file runs every session. Yeah, if you can write a text message, you can build one of these. It's super simple. So my actual setup right now is 593. I actually got Claude to scrape all of that information. So every process, product spec, and project state is in text files within my system. So whenever I get to a point where I say, hey, Claude, I need some information on this, it'll go through, read all those files that's stored in a memory base, a file system, and give me the correct answers that I'm looking for. And files, so I've got 57, one per folder. Claude always knows where things are. And essentially I've got my half stock business end to end, zero code. It's all, the whole brain essentially is built on MD. Total software, the cost of the software behind this is $0. So it won't cost you anything other than your Claude subscription. But if you're using AI and you're not doing it this way, you're probably going to be spending more money anyway. So the structure Claude walks through. So for example, my AI workspace, I think I call it AI infrastructure, is Claude MD. So this is the brain. It reads it first. Every session, I know it's cropped out there. And then I've got context MD. So what's happening right now. Then I've got my projects, which has half stock in it, marketing, client, sales, operations. Then the knowledge, a file system, which is research and reference. Then skills, things that I do often, I've converted into skills, which are MD files again. And so it will do those same things. So if I say, I want you to check so-and-so using this skill file, it'll do what it's asked using the particular skill file that I've built up. And then I have personal, which is non-business life, admin. So for example, the routing is the Claude MD is the front desk. It holds the routing table. So if I say, hey, I've got a YouTube task, go to this folder, read this file, Claude will know where everything lives. The context, so this is the memory, is the handover note. So every folder has one, current state, active work, like shift notes between nurses, essentially. So this will just be constantly going between all of the context folders, files in every folder. And then the next session, it picks up where it last left off because it's automatically saved. And skills are receipt cards. So any process that you repeat, like proposals, video outlines, client onboarding, written once as an MD, and it will do the same every time. For example, like these videos that I'm doing on YouTube, these sort of walkthroughs are all built using the skill files that I've put together. 3 file types, that's the whole archive: brain, memory, receipts. This is obviously a really cool part that no one really talks about, is one file transfer equals essentially the whole system. So write it down, your process, context. You can also get Claude to ask you. So you could do like a full interview. Again, your process, content, infrastructure, all in one file. You can then send that file to wherever you like through email, Slack, school DM. It's a text file and it goes anywhere. Then that person can chuck it into Claude, drag, drop, run through this file, no setup, no install, and that will then get all of their information onto their own file system. And then step 4, Claude runs the system, walks them through it, answers questions, then does the work, and then they keep it. It's now saved into their context files, and my system is now theirs. They get to use that. So you're not sending information, you're sending a working system that installs itself, which we do on our school community. So anything that we think is useful, we give to all of our members on our school community. And yeah, so what should happen? So you could do it right now if you want. I'm not going to do this, but it's more so to show you like what you can do. So you can take an MD file you've never seen before. If you join the school community, I'm sure we've got some MD files lying around in there that you can try this with. Then you chuck it into a fresh AI chat, whether that be Claude. Claude reads it, runs a process, asks the right questions, then saves what it's learned into the context files for next time, so it knows every single time what to do. So 60-second recap, the whole system is MD files are just structured text, headings and lists, free, portable, and Claude's native language. One brain file, so Claude MD, that's what I've named it, essentially is who I am, the rules that I have, and the routing table, so Claude never guesses, it knows exactly where to go, where to pick up from. Context files, just the memory, so one per folder, every session picks up from where the last one finishes. Skills are receipt cards, repeatable processes written once, executed the same way every single time. And 5, one file shares the lot. So if I were to zip everything up into one little package, email it, they unzip it, throw it into Claude, they have my whole system now. So very important that you keep this on your computer, because if you've got some private stuff in there, you don't want it going anywhere. So where from here? So you could build yours this week, super easy. Start with one file, write everything into Claude, who you are, what you do, your roles, then ask it to convert that into an MD file and save it to your folder in your file system. And just create it on your desktop or in your documents, wherever you want to save that. Then you can watch other videos of mine. So the rest of this channel covers funnels, automations, workflows that sort of plug into these sort of setups. And number 3 is join Consulting Grow with AI. That's our school community. We have templates, setups, systems you can chuck straight into Claude. We're running a 7-day sprint at the moment. So it's a free trial for 7 days. And we have some videos in there helping you set up a business or launch a digital product or whatever it is within that 7 days using AI. So definitely get onto that. The link for that will be in the description. So your business has the knowledge, the files just make it usable. So yeah, that's essentially it. And I'll just show you the school community. So we have here. Here's the school community. Like I said, links down in the description. And yeah, it's going to $99 a month at 50 members. We're at 42 members, so that's obviously going to increase pretty soon. So I suggest you get into that. But yeah, I hope you learned some stuff in this video, and I appreciate you watching. And yeah, join the school community if you want to get some more information. Like I said, 7-day free trial, and you can cancel anytime if it's not for you. But I'd love to see you in there. We have some live calls. We have the classroom. We have a bunch of members always talking in there and creating conversation. And you get direct access to myself, Nathan, to talk about anything and everything that you'd like. And we help you out on a daily basis. So thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video.